Welcome to 549 Media. The lights are on, the crowd is loud, and the stage is set for tonight's action. From the opening whistle to the final buzzer, we bring you every drive, every shot, every play that makes the difference. This is where passion meets performance and every moment counts. Grab a snack, sit back, and enjoy your hometown Yellowjackets because the game starts now.
Well, welcome in live to the Hive for an early edition of wrestling here in the Battle of the Bees kickoff as the boys and girls teams will play on Friday. Basketball here at the Hive, but we're starting off with wrestling early on here. 4:15 to 4:30 start with varsity. You see JV matches going on right now. I'm Lance Rock, gathered alongside Jesse Hine, who's battled many matches in this storied rivalry. We'll dive into that a little further. 85th matchup as far as our history records go tonight, and nothing speaks rivalry more than meeting someone for the 85th time. And you can speak, Jesse, to just what feelings, emotions it brought out as you entered the mat on all the times that you got to wrestle in this thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique rivalry. I mean, it's they're right next door down Highway 10, and not a section rivalry or anything. It just all comes down to pride, and there's been some very storied matches over the years, and back and forth, ups and downs, but it's always a night you have circled on the calendar if you're a Perham fan or a Frazee fan, and it's a special evening, and the camaraderie of wrestling between the wrestlers and the crowd and everybody involved. It's just a good evening.
Well, again, we can talk about a lot of those things. Both very prideful communities, and I think it's one of those. It's a rivalry, but it's one of those gentlemen's rivalries. As it'll be next week, both teams will be wishing each other good luck and supporting them in their mission to get down to the state tournament. And I know from my years of being a dad, there was nothing better than when we saw the Frazee green and the black and gold of the Yellowjackets both down at the XL Center and being able to root for each other. So, again, one of those times when rivalry is a good thing. Absolutely, and
we're blessed here in both towns to have a long history in the sport of wrestling. And, again, it's a brotherhood. It's something that you will bond over, and looking forward to the gym filling up here in the afternoon, and good night of wrestling.
Well, we'll step away here for a couple minutes. We'll come back, kind of maybe highlight a few matches we think are going to be key ones, and a lot of discussion up here on Press Row as former wrestlers, former coaches. It's been a good day of talking wrestling, and there's a lot of varying results that can happen tonight, and this is going to be a fun one. So thank you all for tuning in to 549 Media. Again, we're excited about what's about to take place in the 85th meeting between the Frazee Hornets and the Perham Yellowjackets.
Perham Health is here to take care of you, to keep you crushing it. Broken bone? We'll fix it. New baby? We'll deliver. We've heard that. And yes, we can help. From life's big moments to the annoyingly sick ones, our providers have the expertise and compassion to handle it all. Perham Health, so you can keep on hitting it.
I'm Jen Hendrickson with United Community Bank.
Jacket Pride isn't something we take lightly. We support the teachers and support staff that help teach our children every day. We support local Perm athletes with our Battle of the Bees sponsorship nights. And every year we award 4 scholarships to Perm seniors. Yellowjackets are my team, and United Community Bank is my bank.
Looking for a job that's anything but ordinary? At Kenny's Candy and Confections, we make work sweet. From popcorn poppers to licorice cooks, our team creates fun treats that people love to share. Here, you'll find great benefits, chances to learn new skills, and a workplace full of energy, creativity, and smiles. Because at Kenny's, making snacks is seriously fun. Kenny's Candy and Confections. Apply today.
KLN Family Brands. Hey, it's Tucker again. Did you know? DOT Insurance Agency.
Well, welcome back into the Hive for a kind of a matinee type feel here as school just let out and kids were wandering around. Matt was set up when I got over here. Again, thanks to Jason Groth and Jesse for setting up and allowing me just to walk in the last minute here. But a really good event here, and I'm glad they made it work. They had some bumping around. It dealt with the Heart of the Lakes conference that moved back and forth, and they tried to find a date, and then this ended up being something that would work. And I just think it's awesome that both communities were willing to make this work out tonight. And again, we believe it's the 85th matchup between the Hornets and the Jackets. Frazee holds a 58-25 and then one tie over the years against these Yellowjackets. And Jesse, you probably remember every score that I know you. It's been one of those back and forth battles. It seems like each 2 or 3 years you see a team come through and they take a 2 or 3 year stretch, and then it's bounced back in that last 10 to 15 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, I can remember some times when you knew going over there, we were lucky to win a couple matches just with the strength of Frazee, and I know there was times when they thought the same thing, and history is always remembered. So there's been some statement matches made by both teams, and that's what makes a rivalry fun.
Yeah, and it's been a great rivalry. Last year, 35-30, the way of Frazee. We can kind of go back through it. Tanner Mowat at 2:15 won by major decision, and then Cade Nagel at 285 secured a pin to seal the comeback victory for the Hornets. And it was just a fantastic evening, and we got to call it. It was right down to those last two weights, and unfortunately, or fortunately for you, that's where you were at, and you know the pressures that come with the way Minnesota State High School League does it, where it's always starting at 107 and it's always ending at 285.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have it any other way. It's what wrestling is meant to be, and that match last year, I was just thinking about it throughout the day at school, just going through the different things, and if I can remember correctly, the Yellowjackets better have their elbows in and their hands forward on the bottom, because they had some arm bars that created some issues for them last year. So
I totally agree with you. And to quote a movie, the winners always want the ball at the end, right? So That's speaking. Yeah, Perham winners last year was Dresden Wegscheid at 121, Peyton Trout at 127, Isaac Adams at 145. Carson Zeise at 160, Tristan Larson at 172, Tegan Detloff at 189. And then Frazee got the other weights, obviously. Ashton Reller at 107, Christian Peichel at 114, Liam Ham at 133, Cash Osterman at 139, Bailey Peichel at 152, and Moa Nagel that we just talked about to seal the victory for the Frazee Hornets. The year before that, Frazee won 29-25. Again, Jesse, closing out with wins in 3 of the 4 final matches. So both years it's went down to those very final matches of the last couple here. It's been some outstanding wrestling.
Absolutely, and just that's what it all shapes up to be. From the moment you flip that coin to see who's going odds or evens, you're thinking about all the matchups. I'm not sure if there's as many moves and matchups in this duel tonight as there maybe has been in the past. It might be more of a straight-up duel, but the times we think that, we know as well as anybody, that's when things change.
Yeah, and looking at the weigh-in sheets, I don't think there's going to be a ton of spots to move, but there's always places to move, and I think if the match is on the line, we might see some of those exact moves that we're talking about. So again, 85th, as far as we've found out, 85th matchup between the Hornets and the Jackets. We'll be live with live action here coming up, but we're going to step away for a little break here, probably about 2 minutes. we'll be back. We'll talk about some of the key matchups for tonight. We talked about the wrap-ups of the last couple of years. We'll look into the future, see what we can predict from that crystal ball, and see what we think might happen here tonight. So right here, stick with us. Tell all your friends that it's an early start. We'll be probably rolling here in about 15, 20 minutes live from the Hive here on the 549 Media Network.
At Hilltop Lumber, we're not just about building materials. We're about building relationships. We're honored to be recognized for our excellence in our industry, but the greatest reward? It's the trust we built with our customers. It's not just about providing quality materials, it's about building strong relationships. We're proud to be a part of the communities we serve, working with you to bring your vision to life. Because at Hilltop Lumber, success is measured by the partnerships we create and the homes, businesses, and dreams we help build together. Hilltop Lumber, where we help plan, supply, and deliver dreams.
McCall Construction is the Lakes area full-service construction management company, offering a truly personalized experience. From dream homes to commercial spaces, McCall Construction focuses on putting you first with experienced value engineering that delivers on your vision and surpasses your expectations. Whether you already have a plan or you're just getting started, give them a call. McCall Construction will make the entire process so much easier. Call them at 218-346-7070 or check them out on Facebook.
Central Market, the fresh place in Perham and Detroit Lakes, offering the freshest meat, produce, bakery, and deli products possible with great value for your money. A visit to Central Market is a journey into freshness. You'll always be able to find a wide variety of items that will result in the perfect meal for your family and friends. Begin with their meat department, and whether it's succulent fruit and vegetables, fresh baked specialties from their bakery, or the convenience of fresh deli selections, Central Market is the fresh place for your family. Go Yellowjackets!
Since 1980, more families have trusted Jack Chivers Realty than anyone else in the Lakes area. I'm Blake Olson, the owner of Jack Chivers Realty. Our dedicated agents have a deep understanding of the area.
We live here and our kids go to school here. Let us find the perfect home for you and your family, or lean on our knowledge and marketing to sell your home. Find out how Chivers delivers right here in Perham. Reach out today and start packing. JackChiversRealty.com.
It's not necessary to build your business in Perham, Minnesota to be successful. But it sure does help. Hammers Construction, your vision, our team.
Well, welcome back live into the Hive. Jesse Hine alongside me. My name's Lance Rock. We're going to bring you all the action tonight here in the 85th meeting between the Hornets and the Yellowjackets. We have some JV matches going on as we speak. Again, kind of looking through this, we had some wrestlers meet up, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad when you see a wrestler this close together. Jesse, a lot of the matches I think went the Yellowjackets' way. I hope that's the case again tonight, but you never know. The fuel of the fire when you get beat in something like the Heart of the Lakes might be enough to drive over the edge, but we kind of look back and forth, and I think this one could be a tight one again as we go to the end of the Yellowjackets lineup. But I think that's kind of the strength of the Yellowjackets, although we did see a few upsets by the Frazee Hornets even in the HOL just a few nights ago. Yeah, for sure, and then it's kind of like Frazee's always got something up their sleeve. You know, they find a way to pull a match off here or there, and like you said, in the HOL tournament we saw a lot of matchups, but not one match goes the same way when you wrestle a guy more than one time. And you know, tonight, like you said, a lot of matches went to the Yellowjackets. I know there's a few wrestlers who want another opportunity, and hopefully they get those this evening. But nonetheless, it's going to be fun to watch. Well, day or night, rain or shine, so to speak. I think this changes the game a little bit too. When we were at the HOL, you saw us flip between three mats. The crowd wasn't quite as surrounded as it is even in a mid-afternoon type match here. It changes things when it's one mat center stage. You get to have the light shining on you. I think it brings out the best in everybody. But as we look, it's always a guess as we go down. The Yellow Jackets have been pretty firm in how they've lined up week in and week out. Just I think they're, the weights kind of fell in where they could go. They've got some really good records. I think a few that we can highlight. I think Sam Royko has really had a very nice showing at 145 pounds. But if it ends up being Cash Osterman, I think that could be one of those matches that went Royko's way. But again, we saw Cash Osterman really turn it up a notch from that match on, coming back through the wrestlebacks in the Heart of the Lakes.
Yeah, that match, just thinking back, very similar builds and wrestlers, and honestly, very similar styles. Osterman was the aggressor right away. Royko made his adjustment and ultimately did enough to win the match, but it was a fun one to call. Definitely one I had circled over here too, Lance.
Right, and we'll work all over the mat here, but another one I'm interested in seeing is if it works out at 189, Tristan Larson, Jack Graham. I think Tristan came in, had definitely one thought on his mind, and that was to be a Heart of the Lakes champion. Well, Jack Graham had another thought to that and caught Tristan. Really good wrestling technique and put him on his back and ended up making it a short finals match. But I have a feeling if those names and that number flips up again, that could be really a barn burner because those two are going at each other before the fall happened.
Well, and if we think back to the last couple years, that 189 range, that's where the match usually gets decided. So you're looking at the possibility of a meaningful match in the most meaningful spot in the duel, and if it lines up, great. If not, it's still going to be a great match.
And again, I think it's one of those we talk about night in and night out. It's no different than basketball. I think you want a quick start. Well, that's where the toss-ups are at. I think you can go 107, 113, probably toss-ups in both areas. Jackson Pazernik really showed me something in that Heart of the Lakes tournament, though, Jesse. He just did a fantastic job. Down 14-0, came back and ended up getting the win. And that sometimes a match like that changes a dude.
Yeah, it was definitely a testament of his will because, I mean, there were moments when he was down big, almost a blinding lead for the other wrestler, and he just found a way to get it done. And that's the beauty of the sport of wrestling is you can claw your way back, and the match can be over at any time. But yeah, Paz put together a great tournament, and like you said, I had those first 2 or 3 matches circled as key. Just how's the match going to start? Who's going to be the stopper for each team? And I think the Yellow Jackets have a good stopper in Dresden Wakescheid, who's had a really good season so far.
Exactly, and it's going to probably come at a good time if you need it. And then you roll into one of the wrestlers both you and I were really impressed with, not seeing him a ton, but knowing that he was section runner-up last year as an 8th grader. At 133, Christian Peichel really had a great Heart of the Lakes, and we both just kind of went, wow, watching what he did on the mat. Again, that's going to be a good matchup between him and Zane Wacker.
Yeah, that Peichel name has been around a long time over in the green singlet, and like you said, it was our first chance to really see him make a name for himself, and boy, he did not disappoint. He took care of business, and there was no doubt that he was the champion that night. But looking forward to his matchup. You know, Zane and his brother Brody both battle, and both have had some good battles with a lot of the Frazee Hornets, and those two are fun to watch as well.
Well, and they both came back to win 3rd, which is awesome. And then the last one we'll probably highlight, there's many more in there. We could go Liam Ham, Peyton Trout. Trout had the upper hand in the HOL, but it's one of those that I see. But it's going to be interesting when you hit 152, 160. Where is Carson Zeise going to go, and where is Blake Sonnenberg going to go? And if they end up going head-to-head, that could be one of those matches that is really good because you're going to have former ranked in state, number 7 in state, and I know that they've seen each other in the past. that one could be a highlight match if it happens.
Yeah, both wrestlers love to score points, love to be aggressive, both really, really strong for their weight class, and that could be a little bit of a clash of the Titans there, and you never know.
So as we talk our way through this, I know less than I did before we started talking, and that's why we want this thing to get started. We were excited to bring it to you because, like I think, Jesse, you put it best, we just never know. When these two get together, it is just an intense, fun atmosphere and what wrestling is all about. So we're going to step away as the JV matches are still going on. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll come back, kind of wrap up a few things, talk about what's coming up yet on 549, talk about some possibilities as section time rolls around that we're still working on, but hoping that it can happen. And what a fun afternoon. It's weird to say afternoon, but again, this is going to be a fun one, the 85th matchup between the Frazee Hornets and the Perham Yellowjackets here on 549 Media.
Lakes Community Cooperative is proud to support Yellow Jacket activities and our entire community. From propane and fuel to feed, HVAC, country stores, auto shops, a meat market, and more, LCC is your one-stop cooperative for farm, home, and business needs. Locally owned and trusted for generations, Lakes Community Cooperative is committed to powering our communities and serving you every day. Visit lakescommunitycoop.com to learn more about your cooperative and the many ways we can serve you. Yes, garbage is gross, but here at Steve's Sanitation, we are your trash experts with experience to back it up. At Steve's Sanitation, we know how to schedule your trash pickups without missing a beat, and we have been doing it for over 30 years in Perham and the Lakes area. Steve's Sanitation has been voted the best garbage service in the Lakes area since 2019. With 30 dedicated employees, we're here to take care of your trash. For more information, call us at 218-346-4834 or visit our website at stevesanitation.com. Horseman Investments and Insurance can help you with your retirement planning goals and insurance protection needs. Kyle Van Dyke and his team provides educated retirement solutions, wealth management strategies, inheritance and legacy planning, and personalized auto, homeowners, and life insurance protection plans. We are here for your lifelong financial wellness. To set up an appointment, call Kyle Van Dyke at 218-236-6665 or email at kyle.vandyke@horseman.com.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell
and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware.
You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware,
right here in downtown Perham.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome to Perham, Minnesota, a great place to visit and an even better place to live. Here's a look at just a few of the things you can experience here. If you'd like to find your inner otter in Perham, visit OttertailLakesCountry.com.
It's Giving Hearts Day, and the Perham area is coming together to support local kids in a big way. Help raise $120,000 in just 24 hours for the Boys and Girls Club and Empowering Kids of Perham. Join us on Thursday, February 12th from 11 to 1 at the Boys and Girls Club for Spuds for Love, a baked potato bar prepared by Spanky Stonehearth. It's a free will offering. Dine in or take it to go. You can also give early by rounding up at participating businesses or donate online at givinghearts.org. Let's show our love this Giving Hearts Day. Well, welcome back live into the Hive. We're getting close, I think, to the end of the JV portion of this segment as we get going. And again, just we'll touch on Giving Hearts Day and the impact that it has. It's just such a great event. I have my spud ordered. Cannot wait for a day without having to have leftovers. So I encourage you to reach out or stop over, get your spud loaded up and a little dessert and enjoy and help two great identities in our community with empowering kids and the Boys and Girls Club and what they do for the kids of Otter Tail County as we get rolling. So that mark your calendars for that on Thursday, February 12th. A big day for the community, a big day for kids, and a big day for myself to get lunch made for me. So, again, as we're wrapping this up, Jesse, I think both of us kind of we're not going to tip our hat to which way we're leaning, obviously. We hope for the Yellowjackets, but, man, this Frazee team, and just talking a little bit beforehand, they're really gearing up to make a Section 8A run, and it just seems like every year somebody tries to talk about another team, like, oh, this team's going to come in, or this team's going to come in, or this in Section 8A. And when the dust settles, the Frazee Hornets always find themselves, if not at the top, near the top.
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking about that, actually. This year, some might say, a Foston Bagley who's been in and out of the rankings a little bit and not a huge school when you think about wrestling, but the United North Centrals of the world and the days of the Frazee and Greenbush rivalry. But like you say, count them out. But Frazee's always in the finals.
Yeah, they just have that knack. They turn it up another notch, and that's what is scary if you're a Yellow Jacket fan is, are they turning that notch right now and as we speak being here? Yellow Jacket, same thing. Section team coming up here real shortly. It will be held here at Perham High School and the Prairie Wind Middle School. From what I gather, don't take what I say for true, but it sounds like 2 mats to start in both gyms. It's going to be it's going to run in one day. So starting around 2 o'clock, you can be here and you can follow every single team that's in Section 8AA, and it just doesn't get any better than that. And you're bringing in some great teams. There's always that chance for the upset, but championship is awesome. I'm still near and dear to when those semifinals hit because there's just something. It's kind of like the blood round at the state tournament, Jesse. You leave it all out on the line when semifinals hit.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm happy to hear, like you said, it's not chiseled in stone yet, but that they're going to bring both semifinal matches to the Hive. I think the environment is going to be really cool with Section 8 expanding teams in the last couple years and bringing some new teams in. This is a great place for an event, and it's going to be a great day for wrestling.
Well, and you can see now what is created. It's daylight all around us, and what can happen here at the Hive as we go center stage. The lights are dimmed. They're able to put the spotlight on the mat. The Yellow Jacket shines true. It's going to be a great, great time in the Section 8AA. I think is wide open, and there is probably 5 teams in my eyes vying for that title and getting a chance to go down to the XL Center. And when you have that many teams, you know you're going to get some great matchups all the way through the whole day.
Yeah, and talking with a few people today, coaches and former coaches, just where are things going to shake out. There's some definitely meaningful matches that take place here this week that are going to determine a lot for seeding, and teams that could be a 1 or 2 seed getting bumped down to a 4 or 5 seed. Who are you going to see in the semifinals? Who are you going to see in the first or second round if you're in that 4 or 5 matchup that could be seeded so closely? So I'm at the edge of my seat to figure out how it's going to all shake out.
Well, and you know better than I do, and most of you at home know better than I do. A lot of times it's not the name on the singlet, it's the matchups that come about, and you're going to see some teams don't want to see each other because the matchup's not favorable, but they'd rather have the other team. And again, I think that'll all shuffle out. I'm excited for that day as well, and we're hoping to have some news as far as 549. We'll hold off on that till we know for sure. Jason and I are on almost every night this week, so if we get confirmation, we'll let you know. But you see both teams getting ready to roll here. We're going to step out just for a second, kind of hear the instruction of what's going to happen, and we'll be back with live action wrestling here from the Hive on the 549 Media Network.
80-90% of this world goes to a 8-to-5 job, and they get to slave away to barely get by. We have the opportunity to go put in the work and be able to change people's lives. Be the less than 1% in this business. Everyone in this room has the opportunity for growth. Everyone in this room has the opportunity to go protect a bunch of people. Be that person today.
If you're self-motivated and disciplined, this is the opportunity for you. Call Dan Persons at 218-259-0741 for more information.
Since 1955, Esser Plumbing and Heating has been keeping homes and businesses comfortable across the Lakes area. From residential and commercial new construction to plumbing and HVAC service, our skilled technicians bring knowledge, experience, and a friendly smile to every job. When comfort matters, trust the team your neighbors have counted on for generations. Call 877-882-4822 or visit EsserPlumbingandHeating.com. Esser Plumbing and Heating. Trusted people, trusted service.
At New Horizons Realty, we're on your team. For over 25 years, we've been helping families and businesses find the perfect place to call home here in the Lakes area. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just dreaming, we've got the experience and local knowledge to guide you through every step of your real estate journey. As proud supporters of the Perham Yellowjackets, we believe in building strong teams on the mat, court, or field, and in the community. Check out our current listings at PerhamRealEstate.com or give us a call today at 218-346-7767. At New Horizons Realty, we're on your team. For over 25 years, we've been helping families and businesses find the perfect place to call home here in the Lakes area. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just dreaming, we've got the experience and local knowledge to guide you through every step of your real estate journey. As proud supporters of the Perham Yellowjackets, we believe in building strong teams on the mat, court, or field, and in the community. Check out our current listings at PerhamRealEstate.com or give us a call today at 218-346-7767.
At River's Edge Cabinetry, we believe your home should be a true reflection of you. Our expert team combines custom design, quality craftsmanship, and 3D visualizations to bring your vision to life. From kitchens and bathrooms to family rooms and outdoor kitchens, we handle every detail. Experience a seamless remodeling process with personalized service and attention to detail that you can trust. River's Edge Cabinetry, custom design for your lifestyle. Visit us in Perham or online at riversedgecabinetry.com.
Well, welcome back into the Hive. You're seeing starting lineups happening here again, trying to get through a good sponsor list, and it tells you how important athletics are with the amount of sponsors we have and able to bring this to you. We're going to mention them throughout the night here as we get going as well. And again, we thank them for their patience during wrestling, as it's a tough thing to get commercials in. We're excited to see all of this live as we get going. Again, I think it might end up being some sort of upset, Jesse, that turns the tail on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know just listening to intros, it's always, you second guess yourself because some weights are open, they double weight here. I'm just curious to see who they send out.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think there's some really good matchups. And what I'm interested in is it's so different when they come out in singlets versus their warm-ups, and it just changes the whole look as we get rolling. It's going to be a fun afternoon of wrestling. I got to remind myself, dark gym, the light on behind us, but again, there's going to definitely be some really good matchups. Both teams have a couple gentlemen rated in the state for the Yellowjackets. Tegan Detloff rated number 2 in AA, and Eli Royko rated number 5. For the Frazee Hornets, they have Christian Peichel at number 10 in A, and they also have Blake Sonnenberg, who's number 7 in A. So again, everything kind of checks and balances out for this to be a good duel. Again, I think we got to look to those early weights and who scores points more so, and how many do they score. Bonus points might be big down low.
Absolutely, and this is a time of the year when you really want to get dialed in, especially with your dual team, with just your roles. I mean, you know your role if you're up against a giant might be to save a point. One point could swing it one way or the other, especially when you get into section tournament here in a couple weeks, and no time like the present to get dialed in.
Right, and we're right there. We didn't see we saw the coin flip. I didn't see what happened as we were rolling along, but we're gonna get right to action here shortly. This is where I rely on Jesse. I hear myself more than I should in the headsets. We're gonna transition. We'll bring the scoreboard in. We'll be ready to roll here at 107 pounds. This match is going to be brought to you by Perham Health and United Community Bank, and a quick start for either one of these teams might be fun. So we have Jackson Pasternak coming out at 107 pounds. Jackson's an 8th grader, 8-12, coming off a 4th place finish at the Heart of the Lakes. Ashton Brislin, a 7th grader, 6-11, 6th at the Heart of the Lakes at 107 pounds. And we're ready to go, and it's happening.
Yeah, right off the bat here, Paz with a hard snap down, working, tried a little whip by, and here he goes into tried a little cow catcher, but just got his way around for the 3-point takedown.
Well, we talked about Pasternak, and I think the big match for him was coming back against a really tough wrestler and doing a nice job. Here we might have trouble.
Yeah, it's interesting. Bristling kind of just turned his hips and got Paz leaning one way, but looks like Pasternak almost worked his way back to his base. You can see the referee still counting back points here. That's a deep half buried there, but thinking back to last week, a lot of matches with Pasternak not ended this way, but we're flip-flopping back and forth. So we'll see what happens. I know Paz isn't out of it. You can see him come out of there, working his way back to his base here. The
armbar was locked in. So again, a change, 6-3 now, as you can see on your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard, 6-3. Boy, it looked like Pasternak was shot out of a rocket. This was going to be his match, and then Brislin kind of just stamped on the brakes, and I think he had one swipe there, and then back to his base went Pasternak.
For sure. I think Bristling on top is taking advantage of Pasternak's wide elbows, burying those halves and that kind of thing. Look for Paz to get some hand control underneath here and get back to his feet with 20 seconds left here in the first period.
And your word of advice was from the last few years, no wide elbows.
Get your elbows in and get your hands forward.
Headlock right there, one swipe again, and then off the mat. So that was quick reaction by the official right there. It may have been 2 swipes, which would have gave 2 more points. But again, Brislin looking to be the aggressor right now and using Pasternak's aggression to his favor.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day here, as the period comes to a close, I think Paz can take a look at the scoreboard and go, okay, it's a 1 takedown match still after all that. So looks like choice is going to go to Bristling here. Looks to his bench. He's going to take down.
And again, we've talked about that over and over, about that 3-point takedown, how it's changed the high school, wrestling as a whole. But, boy, you certainly, where you once had to now take down, escape, take down again to get yourself caught up, and you still were tied. Now all of a sudden it's just that single takedown allows you to be back in the game. Brislin working to his base here. A nice ride by Pasnick, now hooks a leg.
Yeah, you see him kind of get into that Merkel position here, that side headlock. He's going to try to stretch Bristling forward a little bit, see if he can flip him over for some back points. I know he's got to be a little careful here. Here he rocks him back, and this should be back points. He's got to keep his hips up on top. He does a good job climbing up there. I don't know how many back points he has for sure. He's going to give him 4. So Pazernik's going to take a lead 7-6 here with 1:10 left in the second period.
And again, both of these young men wiry. They are both been in harm's way in a bad way, got themselves out of it. You see Pazernik now kind of is going to have to be careful here. This is one of those danger positions. They usually don't mess with the shoulders, get that elbow in. He's got to get him flattened out before he can do much, I think.
For sure, and just with the arm bars, I mean, we've said it 100 times here. You know it, your son Leighton was a big arm bar guy. You just got to take your time. You got to go slow to go fast. So you can see Pazernik still working here. His hips have been a lot tighter. You can see he drops Bristling back with a little chin drop here with 30 seconds left. There's a lot of time as Pazernik settles in, but Bristling does a pretty nice job bellying out there. I don't know how they bend like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd be picking up limbs as we go, but both of these guys now, more points being held. Here goes Pazernik again. He's going to have to pin. You see it on the Hilltop Lumber score clock, 7 seconds remaining as we go, and that is tight, and it's just survival, but I don't think he's going to get shoulder down, and he's saved by the bell.
Yeah, it's that time he was able to get a little bit deeper arm bar there, and you can see Pazernik wants to go down here in the third, up 11-6.
And again, now I don't even want to speak bonus points because of the way this is going back and forth, but you have to think bonus points, doing a nice job. There's a quick stand-up, but great job of returning him to the mat by Pazernik and getting right back into what was comfortable for him, Jesse.
Yeah, I stand corrected. He must have chose top. I thought he chose down, but right back into an arm bar. You can see him. He's going to stretch Bristling forward here, try to run that straight over his ear. He might try to scoop, but they're going to call potentially dangerous as that elbow gets too much pressure against the joint.
Well, we worried a little bit about that earlier. Just you got to have that so tight when you're in on the elbow. Otherwise, you're going to get that potentially dangerous call. Again, quick stand-up. Bristling turns into him, and here we go again.
Yep.
2-point reversal. He's looking for his own back points. He's really kind of got, if he pulls his leg back over, could put some danger in.
Yeah, you saw he lured Pazernik into that. He put his wrist around his own neck so Pazernik would hold on, but now Pazernik has kind of a cradle-ish type headlock.
But I think Bristling's coming out on top here.
I think he's still in control. And there's near fall for Bristling here.
High hip win again, and that it happens every time. 1 minute remaining. He resettles in, and this would be huge for Frazee.
Looking at the scoreboard, it's 11-8 right now with the referee holding 4 near fall. So if it ends here, it's going to be 12-11 Bristling, but you just never know with 40 seconds left here in the third period.
I'm betting it's not entering 12-11 unless it's a pin here. And here comes Pazernik again. Bristling getting high now, trying to stick the boots in. There, it's awarded.
He gave him the 4, which is interesting because the hold stayed the same. But Pazernik ends up on top with Bristling on his back here. So it should be a reversal awarded there with 15 seconds left here in the third period. Now he's got a ride.
And now why wouldn't there be an escape? And here comes Bristling again. He locks him up, throws the headlock.
Oh, man. Big throw by Bristling there with 5 seconds left. And unfortunately, I think Ethan Pazernik's going to go down in defeat. It's going to be 19-13 for Mr. Ashton Bristling. What a start to the evening.
Woo! And a little fun happening up here on press row as we're going back and forth. But wow, what a way to start the evening! That we could go home now and had our money's worth. But a lot more coming as we go to 114. KLN Family Brands and EOT Insurance bringing you this match. So we have I'll let you take that over,
Yeah,
Jesse.
here we
I'm
have,
working here.
For Frazee, we have Brody Larson, an 8th grader, 10 and 12, against Halo Roth, who is an 8th grader for Perham at 8 and 19.
And again, both of those guys coming through. And we had a stoppage early here. We got a technical violation.
I think we may have had a singlet pull there by the Frazee. Nope, it'd be by Perham. It's always difficult when Frazee is the red team, even though they're green. Really nice misdirection single by Roth there. Larson doing a good job trying to stay long here. Roth giving up a little weight. Both him and Pazernik weighed in at 107. You can see a little bit of a visible size difference here, but Roth in on 2 attacks early. No points to show for it.
More so than the build, it's the length, I think. And again, I'm still catching I'm still just catching my breath here after that last one. It was unbelievable back and forth action, and these two, I think there's going to be some action as we go through here as well.
Yeah, both these wrestlers seem to be pretty aggressive. Both in on attacks early. Length definitely favors Larson in this match here, but Roth has gotten to his legs twice so far. See what adjustments he can make to get to a finish. One thing I think you're going to see a lot tonight is a lot of wrestling inside that little circle in the middle, right on the Yellow Jacket logo. Both these guys, both these teams like to be aggressive and wrestle in the middle.
Yeah, again, you saw no edge wrestling there. It was just mano-a-mano, and again, both of these guys here, Halo's been a straight-ahead wrestler for the Yellow Jackets as well. We kind of talked a little bit about him, 8th grader, 8 and 19, didn't place. There's a headlock attempt as I look down. Brody Larson also did not place, 8th grader, 10 and 12.
Yeah, I think a big thing for Roth here is, can we get 2 hands to a leg? I mean, if you can get your hand locked on a leg, we'll have a lot better shot to finish here. Looks like Roth is going to take neutral here in the second period.
Well, and we talked about each one of these 3-point decisions could – it doesn't seem like it because we're an hour and 10 minutes away from the final. These 3 points could be the difference in this whole the whole match here, and both teams – I think saw the value in 107 and do again here at 114 as you saw everybody at the edge of their seats.
Yeah, you can see both guys going to more of an open stance here. Larson with kind of a knee pick attempt there from space. There's kind of a drag to a swing single. Good job by Roth fending that off.
Again, it's going to be it's one of these really fun evenings here as we watch these wrestlers go back and forth, and we're going to run into some matches where I definitely think you're going to see some favorites for Frazee. You're definitely going to see some favorites for the Yellow Jackets, but in between there, you're left with just some ultimately great matches, and both of these guys, not a lot of action, a couple shots, a headlock attempt, but again, we hope it doesn't go down to a pull of a jersey, or a singlet, is the difference in this one.
Yeah, it seems like this period the action's cooled off a little bit, but as we get down to under 35 seconds, you're going to see guys pick it up a little bit more. It's amazing, kind of like the edge of the mat, Lance, you brought it up. Everybody's courageous at the edge of the mat. It's kind of the same thing when you get down there with time in the period. There's a nice double leg by Roth, but fought off by Larson. You can see Larson kind of working a drag attempt there, but Roth circles back up.
Again, it always seems like you get more confident when there's just a few seconds left on the clock.
There he's deep on one, but again, I think the length and size of Larson is causing some problems for Halo here. He's got to keep wrestling on the edge. Second period comes to a close with Brody Larson up 1-0.
Again, we'd like to thank KLN Family Brands EOT Insurance for bringing you this 114-pound matchup. Again, we talked about it, both Halo Roth, Jackson Pazernik both weighing in at 107. Now, you can kind of see that as the down position would be a big lead 2-0, but not as big as it used to be. But nice ride here by Halo Roth, breaking him down flat.
Yeah, switch attempt by Larson there, but he left his back arm behind, so Roth was able to gather that in and flatten him out. I would guess here Roth is going to make his best attempt in the next 30 to 40 seconds at a turn, and then we're going to have to go up onto our feet.
Yeah, it's always kind of one of those we talk about every match, and it didn't even last that long, usually to a minute. So now 2-0 lead, but takedown puts you back in good standing if you're Roth, but been really tough to get to Larson. Larson, that long, lanky, anytime he sees a shot coming, he puts some pretty good pressure when he sprawls out of that. So Roth's going to have to set that up, I think, Jesse. It's going to take a double-type move, a snap down, do something, then get to the legs, or I think it's going to be tough to score on Brody Larson.
Yeah, he had a good misdirection shot to start the match, but I think instead of trying to finish both legs, he's got to go to one leg first. There he's in on a shot. But again, only one hand to that leg. It's tough to finish on an opponent who's a little bit bigger.
Well, and you just saw that length again as Larson just kind of sprawled out. Here he goes into a double, but you watch just ultimate pressure.
Deeper. There he goes the other way. He's going to end up getting 3. Nice little slick finish there by Halo Roth, and now he's got a ride when we're under 30 seconds left here. He's up 3-2.
3-2, they're off the mat, which I kind of wish he could stay on. That fresh start sometimes scares me a little bit. But again, get on a leg here. Make sure that you're using Brody Larson's advantage to his disadvantage at this point.
Yeah, he's got to stop his first move, see if he can tie up a wrist. And ultimately, no stall calls yet, so he can sell out for the ride here. He just cannot give up 2. There he rolls a wrist under, drives him forward. This is right where you want to be. He's got one leg hooked. I'd like to see him putting a little more pressure forward. We're down under 10 here. Larson up to his feet, but again, he leaves that back arm behind, and Roth is able to gather it in, and it looks like Halo Roth with his late takedown is going to take a 3-2 decision over Brody Larson.
And again, that evens up our Hilltop Lumber scoreboard to 3-3. And again, I think that may have flip-flopped even what the Yellow Jackets thought were going to happen. Good wrestling by both of these young men, and we're going to head to 121 pounds, Nias Family Sales and Lakes Ace Hardware.
So this is going to be Weston Sprayberry for Perham. He is a freshman with a 10-19 record, wrestling Ashton Reller from Frazee, an 8th grader with an 18-7 record.
Again, as both of these young men, this is the first edge of the mat. I was really impressed by Reller, an 8th grader, 18-7 on the year here, but I was impressed with how he's built and how he handled himself on the mat in the HOL, and you see him in with that early shot met by Strawberry. Just a nice job there by Weston to stay out of harm's way right there.
Yeah, both these guys similar in what they want to do, I think, with positioning, and you're going to see this is probably the first time we've truly spent time around the edge, but everybody's got their own style.
And again, confidence, it's just a matter of confidence grows when you're on the edge of the mat. You feel like you have that bailout. I've seen more shots at the edge than I have in the center in my lifetime. Both of these guys now in the center of the mat. 2 different styles. Weston seems to be more of that in and out where it looks like right now Reller's just kind of waiting for him and waiting to make his move.
Yeah, you can see Reller gets real comfortable with that 2-on-1. You can see him pulled to a leg and reshot by Sprayberry and another reshot by Reller. So really good action out of both guys. Nobody making a true attempt to a leg yet, but not sure if somebody's bleeding here.
Looks like we might have a blood timeout. Again, this is one of those matchups we also thought really could be one that we would be looking to that might make a difference as we head in to those final matches. So we'll step aside here on our Perham Health blood timeout.
Perham
So we're back into the Hive here just as the whistle blowed. Coach John McEachran, blood man Johnny on the spot, cleaning up the mat, thanks to Colton Lehman and all of his work as well off of our very first Perham Health blood timeout right there. And Reller back in. It really looks like he's trying to drag and then get to that tight leg, Jesse, but he just can't. And Weston Strawberry doing a nice job fending that off.
Yeah, that's 3 consecutive shots here for Reller, and there comes the first warning, which I think is warranted. You can see in the last 30 seconds, Reller's really picked up the pace. So we end the first period tied 0-0.
Well, and I again, I'll look to your guidance on this one, but watching Ashton Reller, I really like his active hands. They never stop moving. They're looking to get heavy, then to the leg, and he's just doing a super job of keeping Weston Strawberry off balance right now.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that out of a few Frazee wrestlers, if I remember correctly. At the HOL tournament, a lot of tap-and-go type stuff. Anytime you can move that head off the midline, you're putting your opponent in a tough spot to sprawl.
Again, thanks to Perham Health for sponsoring these blood timeouts. It looks like patched up and ready to start again. It must have been, I didn't see defer choice. I think that all happened inside that blood. But anyway, Reller's down. He just looks so comfortable. You can tell as an 8th grader when you're okay with rolling and putting your shoulders exposed to the mat and you're not fearful, he rolls through, but gives Strawberry a nice job. He stretched him out right here.
Yeah, Weston did a great job hanging in there and not panicking in that situation. We talked about Frazee and their love for arm bars. With that comes the Granby roll. I mean, I think that if I were a betting man, that would be one of the first moves that I think they're taught over there as elementary kids in Frazee, because they are all very good at it.
And we're back to another blood timeout, so we'll take that one with them. We'll be back here in 20 seconds.
At Nias Family Sales, our experienced mechanics are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. With 10 service bays, the service department at Nias Family Sales can work on all makes and models. Our experienced mechanics can do everything from oil changes, tire repairs, brake service, engine and transmission repair, and much more. Schedule your vehicle today. Call 218-346-5976 or visit the Nias Family Sales Service Center at 610 East Main Street in Perham.
Back to live action. Again, Reller off the whistle, stands straight up, doing a nice job. Weston brings him back down to the mat, but hops right back up, and I think it's just a matter of time. You don't want to pick up that second stall call.
Yeah, he was flirting with it a little bit there on his feet, but he mat returned him one time. But here we are, 1-0 with just under a minute 10 left here in the second.
Yeah, again, nice job, and you'd like to see him snipe one of these and get a single leg to himself, Weston Strawberry. But it just seems like Reller's just he's just so good at what he's doing right now, and then to look and go, this kid's an 8th grader. You can see a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, he's keeping his back to the center. There was a good attempt by Strawberry, but Rellers keeps wrestling and works his way to a takedown. He says that hands were down, and we are back to a blood timeout.
Yeah, again, it's. I think it's just one of those. You've probably been there, Jesse. When it starts, it doesn't stop, and they're doing a good job. So we'll step away again here. We'll be right back with this 121-pound action.
Hansen's Plumbing and Heating provides the highest quality products and services to ensure the comfort and safety of all their customers. It's what they do. Henry Hansen, later known as Hardware Hank, first opened the family hardware store in the early 1930s in Burgess, Minnesota. Today, they are proud to carry on his legacy of hard work and honesty through teamwork, fellowship, cutting-edge technology, and forward thinking. 218-346-2422 or make a visit in Perham, Burgess, or Detroit Lakes today. Hansen's Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Minnesota families for over 80 years.
Back to the center of the mat after that takedown. 4-0 lead here for Ashton Wrestler. Yeah, he is a wrestler. Ashton Reller, 18-7. Again, Strawberry up, but this is a good tilt in here, and he's getting back points.
Yeah, that's a tough spot. Just a nice little sag back tilt there, and he is going to get.
It's so hard to see. I think
3.
3. Yep.
Yep, so 3-point near fall there on that tilt for Reller.
Hilltop Lumber scoreboard is at 7-0. 7 seconds remaining. We have another blood timeout. We'll stay here. We'll kind of recap what we had. I don't know that we're going to see any more action than we did at the 107-pound match as Jackson Pasternak went down in defeat 19-13 to Ashton Bristol. And I thought both of those guys had multiple chances to win that. And every time you thought one was going to get pinned, the other one came back. And then we turned around at 114 pounds, and Halo Roth came out, weighed in at 107, did a great job. He won a 3-2 decision against Brody Larson, and that one might come back to play because we kind of thought 1 through 3 here might favor the Hornets, and I think that they stole one away from them there. I don't think Halo Roth would have ever thought that, but I feel like maybe Frazee thought that.
Yeah, really nice job here by Strawberry coming to his feet. Short time here in the second period, and that is how we will end it. Reller with a 7-0 lead. Strawberry's choice, he's going to take neutral here in the third.
Yeah, again, we want to thank you for joining us on 549 Media Network after our long HOL tournament, which went really fast, but for us it was a fast one, and it sure was fun to jump right back in here and go. And we have another 3-point takedown, so now we're in major decision time, and every one of those points, and again, nice job by Weston Strawberry to stay out of harm's way there as it looked like the headlock was trying to sneak in there. He got out of it, got the escape, 10-1 on your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard.
Yeah, the action there by Reller was really good. A lot of in and out. You can see him putting some combinations together as he's in another high crotch. Really nice finish there. He now takes a 13-1 lead.
Do you start playing that cut game where you get the escape? But here he's got a cradle hooked up.
Yeah, that was a nasty crossface cradle, and that's pretty tight, but Strawberry giving his best effort. I think he broke the hands late, but there is the fall for Ashton Reller with 59 seconds left here in the third period.
Well, man, bonus points. We talked we're at a premium tonight. That when you get 6, that really does it lead your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard to favor the Frazee Hornets heading into 127 pounds. And each one of these matches, and you talked about it, Jesse, we thought it might even be more that we needed. It's time that we need a stopper here.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'll let Bruce give the intro here so we can see who's coming out. Looks like Dresden Wakescheid will be the Lone Ranger out there as Frazee is open, and that will tie the score at 9-9.
And we just got the announcement that Dresden Wakescheid, that was his 100th win. Again, that's a feat of staying healthy and battling for sure. So that opening ties, open weight for Frazee ties this score up 9-9. You saw on our screen for the Perham Yellowjackets, we have Zane Wacker, a 10th grader, 8-12, fresh off a third place finish at the Heart of the Lakes. And did we catch? Is it?
It is Zane Wacker taking on Christian Peichel.
So it's the matchup, and we thought this would be a favorable matchup for the Hornets as Peichel looked really good. Zane Wacker coming out being the aggressor right now. Be careful, though. And there's that shot we saw at the Heart of the Lakes tournament.
Yeah, he loves to tap and go to that double leg, and they're going to go out there. Nobody kept a supporting point in, so 0-0 still, a couple attempts as we get down to 1:15 left here in the first period.
Well, with that quick turnaround, that 127-pound match that featured Dresden Wakescheid picking up his 100th win. Congratulations, Dresden Wakescheid, was brought to you by Hanson's Plumbing and Heating in Marco. And now we're into the 133-pound match, and that's brought brought to you by McCall Construction and New Horizons Realty. So off to 133 pounds we are, all locked up, 9-9.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see since Zane Wacker dropped down to this weight class. A little bit more aggressive, but yet under control. And he's put together some nice matches. There he is again on a nice little drag. Same thing that happened earlier, and Peichel went straight off the mat, so they're going to call him for stalling right away here in the first period.
And I think confidence for Wacker, Zane, at this weight class, I think he feels his strength coming to play. So a good matchup between these two, and again, I like the aggressiveness by Wacker.
Yeah, nice little fireman attempt here, but Wacker's going to go for an inside cradle, but the referee's going to call off the mat. Zane was off the mat. I don't think Peichel was.
I'm over on this side. I would disagree. I thought it should have been called earlier. He slid his other foot off the mat.
Sure, you got a better view than me.
Yeah, you were kind of blocked, but again, it was one of those. I think the delay call made it more so, but boy, you got to love what Zane Wacker's doing. He's meeting every shot attempt with his own shot attempt and really has earned that stall call.
For sure, and here we are again locked up. These guys fly off the edge of the mat, all that action for a 0-0 score as we head into the second.
We'll take it. It's fun to watch, and again, Zane Wacker's choice, he defers. Peichel looks to his bench. They say take down. And again, I think it's one of those here too, Jesse. You want to go one, not two, so be careful if you're Wacker. But boy, he just breaks him down. It looks like he's trying to slip that arm bar in, and he gets up into that elbow. So nice job, Zane Wacker, off the whistle.
Yeah, he was able to catch that cross wrist off of Peichel's first move there and get a breakdown, slip that bar in. But here he's got to be a little bit careful. All these Frazee guys, they bait you into leaning one way, and then they flip their hips, and they're able to get a reversal. But Zane doing a really nice job. He's got a half buried here, which is deep. If he can drag him forward a little bit. Now he's got a half into a cradle, which doesn't, I mean, if you think about that, your spine does not.
Well, and you saw the flexibility of Peichel there. That arm was up tight.
I'm not sure what happened here. It looked like he awarded.
Was it illegal?
Could have been an illegal hold, I guess. I didn't
maybe
see.
A clasp. I didn't see what happened there. But anyways, it's one on the board. You can see that on your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard. Now up to his base is Peichel. Sit with the spin there, grabs the leg, and they're both off the mat.
Yeah, he's going to get him on another clasp here. He held on just a hair too long, more than reaction time, if you will. When Peichel drops back to the mat, he's got to release those hands.
So my guess is first one was also a clasp, but I just didn't see it. But again, Peichel up to his base, spins. Here we are again, and here's where we said one, not two. Now with the penalty points, it's 4-0. And boy, the length of Peichel, you just imagine he's going to go to work here a little bit.
Yeah, nice combination there. Stand up to a switch. He goes to work on top here. Zane's got to keep his elbows in. I know these, you're going to hear me say it 100 times tonight, Lance, but when they're on top, they're digging wrists, they're digging bars. Unless you want a shoulder ache tomorrow, you got to get your elbows in.
And you mentioned that even in the school today, saying that was going to be one of the keys for the Yellowjackets tonight.
Wacker doing a better job keeping his base, coming up to his feet. If he can stay on his feet here, there Peichel knows he's got one stall call, so he just cuts him loose, which makes it 4-1 here with 15 seconds left in the second period.
Amazing how those stall calls can just really change how long you hang on, how long you think you have. Short time here, as you can see, under 10 seconds remaining, and Wacker's choice here will be interesting to see what he decides. Being down by 3, it's nice to get that escape. Takedown would give you the lead.
Yeah, I think you got to go down here, force his hand, get up to your feet and keep working, not allow him to get your arms tied up here. You never know, you could get lucky with a stall and an escape, which is going to give you 2 here, but got to get moving on the bottom. There he comes to his feet. Really nice job. He stays on that opposite hand, and they're going to go off the mat here. I like when Zane Wacker's coming up to his feet a lot. It really forces the hand of that top wrestler.
Again, our matchups brought to us by New Horizons Realty. We've had a couple blood timeouts brought to you by Perham Health. Scoreboard you can see by Hilltop Lumber. Our wrestler of the match, which we'll debate here as we keep going, brought to you by Steve's Sanitation. And there's a reversal.
Yeah, really nice job. Peichel kind of went for a Merkel position there, and Zane Wacker just kind of framed up. And here we have an interesting spot here. It looked like possible back points, but no near fall on the edge, but Peichel got a little too aggressive with that side headlock there and slipped off for Zane to get a 2-point reversal.
Well, and again, you talked about this earlier. We debated every time, how long do you go now trying to get your back points before you cut? You know you're going to have to get that takedown. There it is. So 5-3 now for Peichel. Really, I just have to say how impressed I am by Zane Wacker right now, wrestling a really good Peichel, and here he just bull rushes him.
For sure, he just kept his level low. He's got a kind of a cradle there. He didn't lock, but the referee holding for sure 2 back points. Now he locks the cradle. I would tell him don't be too aggressive here, but you never know. I mean, go for it. If he steps over, he's got a shot here if he can keep a foot in, but there they go off the edge of the mat. Referee gives 3 near fall, which is going to put Zane Wacker up. Should be 9-5. There it switches. And he's in a pretty good spot right now.
Yeah, and that was just a simple old bull rush, take 2 leg, just get after him. Here he releases him again, so it's 9-6. When we talk about Peichel, he is 17-6, number 10 in Class A. Arguably, you could argue this is Zane Wacker's best match of the season right now.
Absolutely, and there you see a little drag, but Zane's strong enough to keep his hands off the mat. And here you're saying keep your head down, keep your hands out front, but there that tap and go double leg. But Zane flips him over. He's going to try to pass an ankle here. I don't know. They gave it pretty early, even though Zane was on the leg. But they're going to go off the edge here with 11 seconds left, tied 9-9. Whew, here we go.
Well, and again, now if you're Zane Wacker, you got to fire out right now because 1 point here is huge. And then we have a caution. So
and then you think back to that stall call. If you can get to your feet, he's trying to hold on. You never know. There's Zane Wacker, comes to his feet. He's going to get the escape here with 7 seconds left. He's got to circle in, heads up for the big throw. Elevator attempt with 1.8 seconds left here. And Zane Wacker has found himself in a pretty good spot here to pull a pretty nice upset. Great match, Zane Wacker.
Woo! Wacker with it. I was kind of surprised with the try to ride out, but I think you were in that 13 seconds. It was a unique decision, but letting up, and here we go. This is crazy right now, and it's gone back and forth, and that might be the upset we've been talking about.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Wacker there for just popping up off the bottom, keeping hand control, and ultimately it made the difference.
So for Perham, Peyton Trout coming out, a 9th grader, 19-17 on the season. Has been one we've talked about. Just ultimately, he seems to get the toughest hombres in a lot of competitions, thus that record. But again, tough kid, a lot of matches in here, and wow, I'm still kind of reeling from the Zane Wacker matchup here as we were going. Definitely throwing his head in for the move of the match. He might get all kinds of awards. The move of the match by Otter Tail Power. And you know what? I think I'm going to name it right now.
Yeah.
We're going to go Otter Tail Power move of the match to Zane Wacker and pulling out that victory over a state-ranked wrestler. And what a match by Zane Wacker.
Well, the biggest thing there was never a doubt. I mean, he was toe-to-toe with him from the moment the match started. There was no fluke about it. He put a good counter attack there, got some near fall, and ultimately when Peichel came back, Zane found a way to get it done.
All right, so we're at 139 pounds here. Score scoreboard was given a little issue. We've got that going. Jack Chivers Realty, Hammers Construction, bringing you this. I've got the Peyton Trout. Did we get Liam Ham?
Yep,
Liam Ham coming out here, junior, 14 and 18, 5th in the Heart of the Lakes this past weekend. Again, another one of those matches we had circled. I think this could go either way. But the way tonight has gone, I have no idea. I'm going to stop making any predictions or guesses. We're just going to roll with this. And what a match so far. On your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard, you see the hometown Yellowjackets up 11-9. But, again, Frazee lost one I think they were going to get. They probably got one they didn't think they were going to get. So it's crazy right now.
Yeah, this if we don't make predictions, we're always right? There's Trout in a nice single leg, crosses over. He's going to get the double leg finish there for a 3-point takedown. He has a Turk step in. If he can elevate that, he may paw that opposite shoulder and get some near fall here. See if he can circle him back onto the mat.
Yeah, nice shot by Trout there. 30 seconds remain, and sometimes the first one's the biggest one. It's getting those first points on the board, and that's the aggressiveness we've grown to know and love. And again, I think it's part of that coaching staff and the belief for the Yellowjackets. They've really had a nice season with some tough competition, and I think they really feel they're battle ready for Section 8 AA. Putting their lineup together, and that's a testament to Coach Vetch is doing a really nice job, and along with the rest of his staff.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is the time of the year you want to be at your best, and you can see Ham coming to his feet, stand up to a switch there. With one referee, I think you're pretty safe there, not getting a clasping call.
Yeah, on the tilt-a-whirl. Ham has in the referee's position, covered up by Trout again. Sit out here. Trout, nice job, Trout. Kind of just really aggressive. That's what I like to see. But sometimes you get a little too aggressive, and then you end up with this. And nice job just giving up the escape. 3-1 on your scoreboard. And again, this is one of those we thought was going to be tight, and so far, so good.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you're going for the big pullback headlock, and if you don't get it, you're pretty much giving up an escape. But if you land it, it's worth it.
Nice shot. Better sprawl right there by Ham than the first time. He kind of got taken by the speed of Trout, I think, on that first shot. But Trout on his offense, you can tell, very active with the hands. Got that inside tie, which always helps there with that snap down.
Yeah, I don't think much is going to come out of this on the edge here. Both guys go back to open here with under a minute left in the second. Now, I'm not sure if my math is correct. Did we lose a team point on that victory? Wasn't it 9-9?
We might have.
It
was 9-9, so that should have been 12-9, and I could see the reaction. Good call there, Jesse. I saw the reaction of Frazee, and I'm not really sure what happened there, but something was said or something was happened. So 11-9. Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt the Yellowjackets.
Down under 25 here left in the second. If this match follows suit, this is when the action picks up here. Again,
both wrestlers right dead center in the mat. Look like they both, there's a shot right at the last second, no stalling on either wrestler. So they can take through 3-1 lead for Trout heading into period number 3. Trout's choice, he takes down.
Yeah, another situation here, down 3-1. If you're Ham, you see if you can ride for a little bit, but Trout says, nope, I'm getting out of here. So it's 4-1. This match will be decided on its feet.
Again, Trout, the aggressor, reshot there by Ham.
He's got to keep moving here. He's got to keep bouncing him, move him one way or the other. Both guys get into that front headlock a lot. If you're going to score on that, whether you're shucking them by or putting your head in the hole or any of those finishes, you got to keep moving and not get stagnant.
Well, or you have to have a real great snap down where you throw the balance of your opponent off, and nothing was really happening there. So good restart for both wrestlers. Again, no timeouts or no. Oh, there's a nice shot.
Yeah, really nice reshot there. Ham kind of went for a half-hearted shot, and Trout just hit him with a double leg there. You can see he's trying to pull back a arm bar on the edge.
Again, that's awesome when you see. I can't speak for it. You can. I don't know what goes through a wrestler's mind when you commit to a shot and then you kind of decommit halfway through, but you can see where Trout's at mentally as he saw that advantage and he just took off and snapped right into that, and this is a good spot for him being up 7-1. I would imagine you'd like to see some bonus points out of this if you can, but again, this is one of those matches we were waiting to see how it was going to end up, so you don't want to take any chances here either.
Yeah, it looks like you might have a cradle lock there, but they're going to go stalemate with 24 seconds left here. Looks like Trout's going to commit to the ride. Might be too little too late to try to let him go here with 24 seconds left.
Right, and sometimes we can't be wrong all the time. If you're thinking this is one of those matches, you're happy with the three. The three tilted your way is the advantage. Nice job by Trout on the breakdown here, and again, you can see his physicality and his strength, and we see the first stall warning there on red, which again is true. It's hard to think red and then see Frazee, but
I don't know how many times they've switched that over the years, but
Peyton Trout's your winner. 7-1 decision. Again, adds to that team score, 14-9. We'll roll into the 145-pound matchup coming. We won't want to make any guesses, but I'm going to put it on the board as I see him walking out. Sam Royko is going to wrestle for the Yellowjackets, a freshman, 16-4 on the season for Royko. And for Frazee, did you catch that, Jesse?
I didn't, but I believe it's Cash Osterman.
And we're going to roll with that. I think you are correct now that I look away from the computer screen. So Cash Osterman is a senior, 19-12, section champ last year. Again, but we saw these two. This is a really nice job as we go here by Royko.
Yeah, really nice re-attack by Royko on the edge there. His length, he just snagged that leg with one hand, and there he's going to finish for the three-point takedown.
Nothing yet.
Really?
Nothing yet, and I think we bring out the challenge bricks.
If I had one, I'd throw it.
But then we're talking a whole nother. They'd have to use some replay and all those different things. But, yeah, a nice job by Osterman getting out of there, and you can tell he's been around the block when you get out of that, because 90% of the time Sam Royko gets you in that position. Yeah. And here's a shot of his own.
Really nice high crotch there. You can see he brought two hands to the party there. He's going to lift and come through, and he's going to hook a Turk step on the way to getting the three-point takedown.
Boy, what a change in the outlook of this match can happen in about 5 seconds, and that's what we told you. I don't think you can take anything for granted tonight. It looked like it was going to be 3-0 Royko, and all of a sudden you look up and it's 3-0 in favor of Osterman. And again, this is a really good wrestler for the Frazee Hornets, and really came to fire at the end of the HOL this past weekend.
Absolutely. He's running a hard crossface there. Visibly strong is Osterman on top. That's what I noticed when he ran out. Just a strong dude. You can tell, being a senior, he spent some time in the weight room. And we come to the end of the first period with a 3-0 lead for Mr. Cash Osterman.
Again, it was Royko's choice. He defers. Osterman says, I'll take down. Again, both of these lads well built here, and nice stand up right away. Tucks his arms in, gets the escape, leads forward to nothing right now, and then right back in on his offense.
Yeah, he's not wasting any time here. Royko trying to get his hips down. Looks like he's going to fend off the shot here.
Just enough by trying to reach to that far ankle and pull that back. I think got Osterman out of there, and now we're going to get a restart as they're both off the edge of the mat. Like to thank you again for joining us in what we believe is the 85th meeting between these two teams. That's a longevity of a lot of matches, and a lot of you that are following along probably wrestled in this at one time or another. And it's exciting every single year. And as we go, a nice little shot there by Royko, defended off nicely by Osterman. 14-9 in favor of the Yellowjackets on your scoreboard.
Yeah, lots of action. Seems like Royko is maybe tied up Osterman a little bit here as of late.
Both hand fighting right now as they're going through. Nice job by both of them kind of defending each other off. Nice shot there again into that far single leg, but trying to be held off. Now to a double. Not much room there, and they go off the mat. So good fend off by Royko, but really nice shot there by Osterman. And boy, impressive by these two young guys as they get going. Front headlock attempt here. And now Osterman back in, gets to that single leg again and drives off the mat. And it's been all Osterman right now, Jesse. I get a little nervous. It's not that Royko's not working, but 2 times driven off the mat. I think third time is that stall call.
Yeah, it's optics, right? I mean, you go off. The same in the Peichel match. He went backwards twice and got dinged right away. So it's not like it won't happen, but Royko doing a good job keeping his legs back. I think his length there has saved him a couple times, but I'd like to see him get back on the attack here.
Yeah, again, I think the rapid fire of Osterman's barrage of takedown moves right there kind of caught Royko off guard. Now, that was a good shot to end, kind of build your confidence. Head into the period number 3. He's going to take the down position. We'll see what Osterman decides to do. Again, the more I've watched wrestling, the more I'm getting to go at some point you got to become a good rider. If you're going to place at the state tournament, it's built. It's takedowns is one thing. If you can hold down your opponent for a majority of time, that's a whole nother animal that you bring to the party.
Yeah, when one point makes the difference, I mean, every point matters. I know, thinking back to when I wrestled, I really had to work on that top skill, even if you ride for a certain amount of time to get them wore out. Taking them down and letting them up is going to cut it around here sometimes, but not when you get down south.
Well, and the part of it is you keep yourself out of harm's way, because you see one headlock can change a match. And again, what I learned to realize, it doesn't matter if you win 3-0 at the state tournament or 15-0. You're moving on either way, and sometimes it's better, and we're seeing a great hard ride here by Osterman. Has him stretched out, again attacking the leg, kind of driving the arms under, and just as I say that, Royko gets to his base.
Yep, he's clearing hands this time. He's got to stay on those hands, and there Osterman cuts him loose here. We're down to a minute in the third period. We'll see if Royko can get to his offense.
Royko smart had learned, you fool me once or fool me twice, but the third time going to that far leg, he backs that leg out of there. We'll see if Osterman now readjusts his tactics to what he's doing.
I think he's going to be content hanging on that 2-on-1 because he's in control of that tie here. Royko's got to get to where he can score.
And again, the third time pushed out there by Royko. Again, that one not quite as fast as the last two, but again, you almost wonder if Osterman's waiting to find something for Royko to try to score on, and here it is.
Yeah, Royko brought two hands to the party, but he gets pasted there. Both feet were up. I didn't know if they'd go off the edge of the mat, but by the time the referee got back, feet were in, and now
coaching staff said get to the other side so your feet are in, because Royko could have got his feet out, but I think if he did, he would have got stuck. 2 seconds remaining. Looks like he's going to hold on, readjust, and he does hold on. And we're going to get 4. Woo! And it leaves an 8-1 score. That could have been a big flip, and it doesn't even end up being a major decision. But an 8-1 win for Osterman, and it could have been much worse for the Yellow Jackets there at the end. 14-13 on your scoreboard, and wow, have we seen some barn burners here.
This is why we do what we do, Lance.
Carson Zeise on the mat, and he's making short work. I'm going to have to get his bio off the screen here as he's going right to work. Zeise looked really aggressive at the HOL, and he's picking that up right where he left off. 22-10 on the season, a champ. And is this Dylan Sonnenberg?
This is Dylan Sonnenberg, yes.
Dylan Sonnenberg's an 8th grader, 1-6, did not place. I think they wrestled. I can't remember. I should have the sheets in front of me, but I got my table full here, and here comes a cradle by Zeise. Sonnenberg tries to block that leg, can't the second time.
Yep, Zeise's going to rock him back again. He doesn't have a crossface. I don't think any near fall is going to be given. Carson coming out right away. He knows what his team needs out of him here. Sonnenberg, you're up against it here, but any history of the Frazee Hornets shows you that they know how to wrestle for their team, and they know what their team needs. So he's on a mission.
And by that, you're just saying save as many points as you can. And if it's 1, it's 1. If it's 2, it's 2. This one brought to you by Perham Area Community Center, OK Tire, the Perham Chamber of Commerce, and Central Market. So this is a big part of this match right now, because you have to believe the Frazee Hornets are probably favored in the next one. That being said, it's happened both ways that you've been maybe the favorite, and it doesn't work out this way. So bonus points here is going to be huge. Zeise's wrestling like he knows that.
Yep, Zeise with a dive under tilt here. He's going to get another 4. That's going to put him up 11-0. So I think he's going to try to build up his lead here. I know he's doing some quick math here. If he takes him over again, that might be it. But we're down under 10 seconds here. I think we're going to end the first period here with Carson Zeise up 11-0. Zeise's going to choose top here. I'd love to see him get a breakdown, and just knowing that one more near fall is going to do it for him, I'd love to see him tighten something up here and get the 6 for the Yellow Jackets.
Thanks, Jesse, for giving me a little time going back to my notes so we can recap this on the KLN post-match wrap-up when this all is said and done. I get so excited I forget to write down the score, so I was running back to do that. And again, 11-0 lead here for Zeise. Working on some more. This has certainly been fun, and just think where we'd be if the open weight wasn't there for the Hornets. And again, some things are just unavoidable, especially at this time of the year where you just don't know how healthy everybody is. But Zeise getting some more back points here.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be it. 4-point near fall. He's going to put Carson Zeise up 15-0, and he will win by tech fall and get his team 5 more points.
Again, great work. He knew what he had to do. He came out on a mission. He did that mission. I'm scrolling down trying to find all my... Brody Wacker coming out, sophomore, 11-18 on the season. He's going to be taking on Blake Sonnenberg, also a sophomore, 25-5, 7 rated number by the last guillotine. Number 7 in A was the runner-up at the HOL this year, and has had a fine season. And this is, you can maybe go the other way and go, I know you want the win, but this might be the pressure point where you're looking for more points if you're the Frazee Hornets. But we saw what his brother did, and I've seen the same thing out of Brody. You just see their confidence growing. Great job by the coaching staff, just that belief of we can stand up against anybody. But Blake Sonnenberg has had a phenomenal season so far.
Yeah, both these guys, you could say, had a great HOL tournament. I know, just commenting on a couple of Brody Wacker's matches, he defeated a really good Xander Deutsch for that third-place match at the HOL. And obviously, Sonnenberg running up against the giant of Colby Tappy from Staples. But both guys putting together a great tournament. Here we are 0-0 a minute in the match.
I believe they were in the opening round. They did meet up, and it was Sonnenberg, but it was a tight match. So, again, it was kind of close to the vest. Let's see how this is wrestled as we go, as both guys go out of bounds. We'll start in the center on the whistle.
Yeah, we talk about guys finding their weight class that they feel, the best at. It's kind of interesting. You often see guys drop weight classes where Brody Wacker and Carson Zeise flip-flopped here, and now Brody up a weight class. Maybe he's a little healthier. Maybe he's feeling a little bit better, but he's looked really good as of late.
Well, I don't think we're letting the cat out of the bag. Kids diet differently, and some it's easier than others, and I've been on both ends of the spectrum with my boys. One was a little bit easier than the other one, and that's okay as we go. But we have Wacker and Sonnenberg on the mat here, brought to you by Hilltop Lumber and Lakes Community Cooperative.
Yeah, really nice sweep single there by Sonnenberg. He goes straight to a lift, but Wacker just kind of
vertical jumped it out of there is what.
I don't know what you call that. There's no name for that one in the wrestling dictionary, but
again, Wacker's choice. He defers. Sonnenberg takes down, similar to the last time they wrestled here, Jesse. And again, it might be that first strike of that. Neither one has really unleashed their offense so far yet, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed is the moment you count Brody Wacker out, you're in trouble, because he finds a way to keep himself in matches and get things done. But looks like Sonnenberg's going to come to his feet here. I'm kind of surprised we haven't given one. Maybe they did.
I did not see it, and I haven't seen a one yet. There's the one. I want to say either that or something's got to happen.
Yeah.
You're either restarting or a stall or something's got to be called there, as a lot of time kind of ran off the clock. 1-0 now for Sonnenberg as we go. And, again, one of those matchups here for Frazee. I think they're looking for some points on this one. How many they get, we don't know. But like you said, never count out Brody Wacker here. And we've seen just that when we thought we knew what was going to be happening in a match, the opposite peeks out its head.
Yeah, it seems like Sonnenberg is really trying to get Brody to step and reach. Brody doing a good job not over lunging. You can see now he's working into some bicep, tricep ties here, pushing and pulling, just trying to find a way. He goes for a big lateral drop, and Brody Wacker settles in, kind of feels it, and he's going to get 3 there on the edge.
And I don't know that it's been awarded yet, and we've had this before. Is it because he's got the leg yet? And now it's 3.
Okay, so he must have given the 3. We didn't see it, but now Sonnenberg staying on that leg with a reversal, but I don't ever remember seeing him give 3.
I don't either, and it must have been towards his back must have been towards us is the only thing I can figure. I think even the scores table right now kind of just making sure everything's okay. But here we are, back to 3-3, 26.6 seconds remaining. Sonnenberg.
This would be a big escape. But Sonnenberg kind of going for a catch cradle. He's going to work that bow and arrow series, which, man alive, if you're ever caught in one of them, he's going to try to run Brody Wacker flat and basically hip him over.
I think he's going to run out of time here as we watch the time tick away. But, nice job, Brody Wacker there. And again, a high difficulty move there by Sonnenberg kind of put himself in harm's way. And nice reaction by Wacker, feeling that coming. And he made some hay for himself here. And here we go. 2 minutes to decide this one. 3-3 on your 160-pound match. 19-13 in favor of the Yellow Jackets on the scoreboard.
Yeah, some of you at home might be thinking, why in the world are we not taken down and trying to get an escape? But after seeing that bow and arrow ride in the last 30 seconds, I think Coach Vetch saw enough to say, hey, let's get to where we're most comfortable and where we've had success here. We're going to decide it on our feet.
Well, and I think you brought it up earlier. Brody's probably a more suited 152-pounder, so you're giving up weight. Sonnenberg started at 172. So, again, that size might have said, hey, we're not going underneath here. Plus, Brody's done well on his feet, so let's see what happens. And a little more aggression there out of Sonnenberg on that shot and near takedown.
Yeah, it was a good look on the edge, kind of a John Smith, quick little ankle grab single, but that short corner of the mat, it doesn't allow much space over there.
No, it takes one little reach out and your hands off the mat, and then stuff stalled. Nice shot there.
Shot from space, yeah.
Yep. Again, kind of buried underneath Sonnenberg. Sonnenberg looking to use it here, and I think he's going to.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Just a little bit too much there. He wasn't quite able to bring his hips with him. That size and length of Sonnenberg just kind of willed his way over there, but he will take a 6-3 lead here with 30 seconds left in the third period.
Well, on that shot, his feet kind of stopped moving. You've talked about that numerous times, Jesse. When your feet stop moving, the rest of you gets caught up underneath, and that's exactly what happened to Mr. Wacker as we have a Perham Health blood timeout, and it looks like they're trying to clean up everybody on the mat, so we're going to step away here for 30 seconds.
They go where you go. They're your wingman. Your, I should get this thing checked out support system. Who knows? They may even be your +1, or should we say +4? These are your tires. Small town, large city, winter, summer. Every destination and every type of weather. At OK Tire Store and Service, we go the extra mile so you can add some extra miles. See us for tires, preventative maintenance, and more. OKTireInc.com.
Well, we're off the Perham Health blood timeout here as they're cleaning up a little bit of the mat. Stay tuned after we're done. We definitely have some really good matches coming up, but we'll have the KLN post-match wrap-up. The move of the match we already gave to Zane Wacker. That was so unbelievable and fun. I just handed it to him, but here we got 20 seconds of fire going.
Yeah, Wacker with a really nice stand-up here, but he's going to try to – he was trying a little neck whip, and it might end up getting himself in trouble. Looks like he's going to get
two
back points there to put Sonnenberg up 8-3 here with 5 seconds left in the third. Kudos to Brody for trying something there at the end. Ultimately, it didn't hurt him in the team point race here, but Mr. Blake Sonnenberg with an 8-3 decision over Brody Wacker.
Yeah, and again, Brody, the competitor he is going to want the victory there, but that was well wrestled as he went along here.
Here at 172 pounds for Perm, we have junior Tegan Detloff. He'll be facing 8th grader for Frazee, Payson Jagger.
And again, you can see Detloff's record, 31-2, off of his 150th win earlier in the season. Again, rated number 2 in AA, and the guillotine, and Payson Jagger's going, well, it's my night, boys. I'm going to do everything I can here, in a nice cradle there. And again, it's bonus points, and it didn't take long. Nice job, Tegan Detloff, giving the Yellow Jackets exactly what they needed right there. Extends their lead to 25-16 on the scoreboard. That match was brought to you by Steve Sanitation and Horace Mann.
We're flying here.
No kidding. Tristan Larson out on the mat at 189 pounds, 10-5 on the season is Tristan Larson. Again, this is a matchup of the Heart of the Lakes finals. Earlier, Jack Graham, 27-5, a senior. He was the champ, defeating Larson by fall in a very active match before that happened. So, again, don't leave now. You're going to see some really fun stuff, I believe, as we get going through this match.
Yeah, we're one body lock away from some feet flying one way or the other here, and I know the beginning of this match is a lot calmer than the last one, but both these guys with a lot of firepower. You know, there's a lot of respect between the two of them as far as their wrestling goes, and just, yeah, this is the one we've been waiting for tonight.
Graham tries to get to that low ankle, does a nice job, and I know the Graham family has years and years of being in the mat, sat with Dad a lot of times as we sat and watched the boys wrestle freestyle and Greco and those sorts of things, so their mat awareness is so good. Tristan Larson is going to bring you some fire and some energy. Actually, a little different approach, like you said, than the first time they met. A little bit calmer approach here by Tristan Larson.
Yeah, it's nobody's really attempted a takedown yet. Kind of a jockeying for position. Nice little snap by Tristan, showing some athleticism there, going to a leg. Getting some instructions from the bench here, trying to bounce him a little bit. He's going to try a foot sweep on the edge. Graham's going to pop his hips up, and we're going to go off.
Boy, great balance by Graham there. Nice shot by Larson, and he wasn't getting just from coaching. He had 5th and 6th grade. Everybody was yelling at him on the edge of the match.
Yeah, I think between these two, a takedown is going to turn into a big throw. Here, all of a sudden, we're going to end up in underhooks, and somebody's going to go for it. It's just a matter of time.
Anytime you see chest-to-chest go with these two, something's going to happen here. And, again, I think it was Tristan Larson's choice. I think he deferred down position here for Graham.
Good return by Larson. He's trying a little chin drop, but then he gets back behind the arms. See if he can keep scooting him forward.
Boy, Graham's agile. It's kind of fun to watch him. He doesn't get himself out of bad position too often. You can see he's squared up, gets to that base right away, even with all the pressure of Larson hanging on his back.
Yeah, Tristan putting a good ride, hard half there. I'd love to see him try to pull forward, but he's just going to cut Graham loose here with 1:28 left in the period.
Don't think it's going to end 1-0 anyway. So just that prediction I'm going to make. We catch ourselves. Oh, nice. Almost fireman. Good re-attempt there by Larson, and now both just sprawled out here.
Yeah, this is a position where Tristan's got to get active. But nice job. He went kind of a club high crotch there. Tristan fought it off, broke his hips over, and we're right back to where we started. A lot of pressure forward between both of these guys. You can see where the fireworks come. And just when we say that, a nice fireman's attempt by Larson there. There's been a lot of calls on the edge tonight that mainly have been called out. So that's he's consistent. I'll give him that.
And I think every one he's been on the out call. So, again, nobody's arguing either side. But that's just a foretaste, I think, of what we're going to see. Somebody's going to go airborne again in this thing, just the way these two wrestle. You can see what Larson's trying to do. As soon as he feels that Graham's going to take a shot, he's going to double unders and seeing what he can do.
Yeah, both guys here as we get under 20 seconds. I think there's going to probably be a flurry here. There Tristan goes for a shot up into an underhook. I'd love to see him get head position here. You can see Graham maintains that head position as we get under 5. And it looks like the second period is going to end 1-0 with Jack Graham keeping the narrow lead.
Larson takes down. Graham's just going to let him go. So we're going to end up being 1-1. I always wondered about just letting him go, then going optional start. Just a feel I would take from those wrestlers. But optional seems like it gives you a little bit of chance to maybe get in on a leg easier. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how many years ago. I can't remember if I was still wrestling or not when they changed that rule, but high crotch by Larson there. He's got to circle up to his feet here. Not a place you want to be under Mr. Jack Graham there, but nice job.
Good job holding wrists, too, to not let Graham get to that ankle.
Yeah, but they created the rule where you can give him the automatic one rather than the optional start. But
some people still go to that optional, try to snap into a cradle really quickly or gain some points without letting them up. But
that's where the flying squirrel came about, if you can believe that, as a wrestling move.
I've seen some high-flying acts in the day. It's been fun to watch. Here's a nice shot. Met again by Larson. Larson doing a nice job with his defense and just using his quickness.
Yeah, he's kind of able to give one hip pop to separate that lock on the leg here. We're down under a minute, and I think you're as surprised as I am to see the score knotted at 1-1. But
it hasn't been for a lack of action.
No.
I mean, they have been like this. I think they hurt us up here, but they've been like that through this whole match. It's just nothing has led to points.
Yeah, there's been some attempts here, but both crowds kind of getting to their feet, hooting and hollering a little bit. Tristan getting active here. He's got to keep wrestling. Graham heavy on the head. He's going head in the hole there. Tristan going side headlock here. This could be interesting. But now Graham comes up with the leg, and he is going to get the 3-point takedown with 20 seconds left.
And the shot from Larson a little bit from distance. But, again, I think he felt like he had it. Now Graham here, I think, uses a little bit of that size in his dimensions to do that. Now he just cuts him, knowing that there's not much really going to happen.
Yep, last attempt there by Larson, but good match by both wrestlers there. A lot of positions. Mr. Jack Graham is going to be victorious with a 4-2 decision over Tristan Larson.
And again, I'm kind of wondering what might come up here. They are going to go straight up. I wondered if they wouldn't bump Mo up to heavyweight, but I don't think it's going to matter on the match. So Eli Royko out. He looks like a man on a mission all of a sudden. We know what he can do on the mat, but it was kind of like that re-coming out party at the HOL, and Tanner Mo on the mat for the Frazee Hornets is a senior, 17-12, section third place, runner-up to Eli Royko at the HOL tournament, and Royko looks ultimately confident with what he did there he's bringing here.
Yeah, picked up right where he left off, and that little drag to a single that's become his bread and butter. I think in their match in the HOL, I believe Royko had 5 takedowns.
Yeah, and it was
that match.
It was like rapid fire. This match brought to you by Persons Financial Protection, Esser's Plumbing and Heating, Otter Tail Power, and Hanson's Plumbing and Heating. Thank you to all of our great sponsors for bringing this commercial free for the most part tonight here at the Hive in the 85th meeting of the Yellowjackets and the Frazee Hornets, and it hasn't disappointed from top to bottom here. 25-19 on your scoreboard. My guess is the Yellowjackets are the favorites in the next 2. So again, we can look back. We will look back in our KLN postgame show to just find out where there were a couple blimps on both teams that might have changed the outcome of this.
Yeah, really nice edge wrestling there by Royko to get into a single leg. And again, situation where I think he tried to switch feet, but I think it was a good call going off the mat.
And again, it stays consistent to what we've seen. Scoring moves on the edge have been tough to come by tonight. So for you younger wrestlers, stay in the middle of the mat, and that doesn't become an issue.
Yeah, and this that HOL match, I think Royko kind of opened everybody's eyes because Mo is a very quality wrestler himself. He took down a very, very talented Mr. Tabbitt from Staples Motley, who had a win over Royko earlier in the year. So this is no slouch, and you can see he's going toe-to-toe there. We end the first period 3-1 in favor of Eli Royko.
Yeah, and again, and even this match is slowed down from the HOL one where Royko came out, kind of a house of fire. Mo's done a nice job. You can see wrestling somebody once and then the second time how you're able to kind of change up a little bit of what you're doing. But Royko now up to his feet, separates, and right back to work.
Yep, he's doing a good job moving Mo around a little bit. I think earlier in the year we were a little complacent with our feet, and now you can see his athleticism on display on some of these takedowns. He's going underhook to a knee tap. Just some raw power going across the mat there. Eli Royko takes a 7-1 lead here. I wonder if he'll continue. Yep, he's going to let Mo go. So it's going to make it 7-2, and he's going to keep working on his feet here. There's a nice little throw by. Pulls him back on the mat here. Sags down, keeps his toes in for another 3-point takedown. That's going to build the lead to 10-2. Royko says, let's stay up on our feet here.
And he looks really comfortable and quick on what he wants to do, and sometimes it's not the body, sometimes it's the mind too, that he just looks so decisive on what he wants to do, and his length has to cause problems at the 215-pound weight classes. It looks like they're waiting, and there's the first three at the edge of the mat, and he drug his foot long enough to take a 13-3 lead here with 42 seconds left in the second period.
Yeah, nice little 2-on-1 drag down to the mat, stomp on that foot, and his length, he's able to stay in. And I think that's the combination of athleticism and just strength of Royko I've really been impressed with, especially as of late here. When he decides to go, there's not a whole lot stopping it. Here he's back to that 2-on-1. He's going to try to go back to that, throws it down, and there's going to be another 3-point takedown. It's going to make it 16-4 here as we wind down under 15 seconds left in the second period.
And again, the time's going to run off the clock. 12-point advantage here for Royko. Mo's choice, he takes the down position, and I'm sure he's figuring Royko was going to let him up, so why not take the free point? Royko says, nah, not this time yet. And again, it's great to work on all facets, and I don't think you can take anything for granted. This is a quality wrestler. The Mo name has been around for a long time for the Frazee Hornets. Done a great job wrestling. Strong kid. I don't think you can take anything for granted at this point. And, man, if something did happen, this place would go crazy with the opportunity at 285 for the win here. But, again, Royko just looks so good right now.
Yeah, you can see Mo doing a good job keeping his base. He gave him an escape there on the edge. It's going to make it 16-5. It's one of those situations where you just don't have much of an answer.
Otter Tail Power, Hansen's Plumbing and Heating bringing you this 215-pound match. A good one by Eli Royko. Fun to see him back on the mat. I know battling with a few things injury-wise, and now hopefully healthy for the tournament run here for the Yellowjackets as Mo now becomes physical, throws a headlock, but nice job slipping right by it. Sitting in the chair just like they're taught at the elementary level, and gets that takedown to now lead 19-5.
You can see Royko working really hard. We went neutral again. make it 19-6. He's got to get one more here to get a tech fall for his team.
.30 seconds remain as the time ticks down. After the 285-pound match, we'll step away for a little bit. We've got some things to discuss. The wrestler of the match brought to you by Steve Sanitation. The pin for the win by Horace Mann. Move of the match we've talked about. We'll re-talk about it again. All coming up on your KLN post-match wrap-up. Again, 11 seconds. Trying to save points here. Takedown is needed. It looks like they're locked up in the middle of the mat. Nothing happening. 19-6 victory. By Eli Royko. Now brings your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard to 29-19 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Lucian Harms coming out to the mat, a junior, 14-13 on the season. Lucian at a runner-up at the Heart of the Lakes tournament. Fell to Gomez from Staples, who is ranked in the state, and I believe that one was 1-0. He is taking on John Carlos, a 9th grader from the Frazee Hornets.
Yeah, kind of a contrast to body styles here. That's as you often get at the heavyweight position or heavyweight weight class, but Lucian keeping his back to the center, working on some ties.
Again, getting on that wrist, little Russian tie there. Now heavy on the head a little bit for Carlos there as he comes in. Both wrestlers locked up, stayed in the center of the ring.
Little swing single attempt there by Harms. Kind of a pass by to a single attempt.
Carlos was the 5th place winner at the HOL tournament this past Friday. And we talked about Lucian Harms coming in the runner-up. This match brought to you by Foltz Construction Interiors by Winkles, River's Edge Cabinetry.
I'd like to see Harms just commit a little bit more to a leg shot here.
Well, even that good old snap the head down, get to a leg series, I think he get him off balance using his leverage.
Got to give John Carlos credit. You know, he's fighting off the ties. He's staying in there.
And he uses his positioning pretty well. I've noticed that here as we end the first period with no score. Both up, probably the smart move there. I almost wondered with Lucian if you'd go top and just see if you could flatten him out, get him to his back. Nice job here. Both wrestlers have stayed to the middle of the mat. John Carlos is really fighting this off. Good footwork by him.
Yeah, he's nimble. That's for sure. Harms with an underhook here. There he goes to a trip, and he'll get a 3-point takedown.
John Carlos did a nice job limping that arm out just so he wouldn't go straight to his back. Now Lou just coming over the top with the cradle.
You don't see many cradles at the heavyweight weight class, but a couple heavyweights before me, Kyle Christofferson was pretty famous for his cradle. He actually had a half of a finger chopped off, and he used to call it the nub cradle. And here, just as I say that, Lou Harms brings John Carlos back in a cradle. Looks like it's cross-face cradle, pretty tight. He's got to get his knee in the side. John Carlos breaks the lock, and that'll be 4 points for Lucian Harms on the near fall.
So 7-0 on your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard. We'd like to thank them. Perham Health for the blood timeouts. New Horizons Realty for all of these matchups today, and many more sponsors that will try to get in as much as we possibly can at the end of this one. We'll take a 2-3 minute break after this 285-pound match. We'll come back and give to you all of the accolades that probably are deserved after a really fun match like this one's been. We're down under 8 seconds. It looks like John Carlos doing a nice job getting to his base, maybe getting one here, and he does at the last second. 7-1, which brings up it rekindles the fire of the Frazee Hornets fans.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him credit. He's battling away, and Harms is going to take down here in the third period.
Well, as you well know, too, not an easy division bracket to be in when you're underclassman, and he's doing battle. Lucian with the quick escape makes it 8-1.
Well, you know, at some point in a duel in sections, it's going to come down to your heavyweight staying off his back or something like that. So a lot of encouragement by the Frazee faithful. You can see kind of a duck under by Harms there. Headlock attempt, but fended off by Lucian. That'll make it 11-1.
Give John Carlos 2-3 more years, and that headlock's going to connect, and who knows what happens at that point. 11-1 now for Harms here with 1:14 seconds remaining, and what a match this has been. And it started out just crazy, and we've certainly continued as we've moved on here. Lucian Harms now again kind of was trying to roll that wrist under, get that arm bar maybe. John Carlos doing a nice job, just fended it off.
Yeah, I mean, these guys his stature are not always the easiest to do what you normally do on. I mean, it's just short arms, big chest. It makes for not very much room to navigate, and he's doing a nice job hanging in there. Harms with a cross-face attempt here. Looks like he's going to maybe try to go to a Turk step, but John Carlos slips that. There he comes to his base again. He comes up to his feet. You're going to hear another roar from the Frazee crowd here as John Carlos gets an escape here to make it 11-2.
And again, a well-fought battle by him. Even though he's going to go down there, Lou attacks, but nothing's going to happen there. So 11-2 is your final score. Lucian Harms with a major decision over John Carlos. And that'll bring your final score to 33-19 on your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard. We're going to step away for a few minutes. When we come back, we'll head into the KLN post-match wrap-up. We'll talk about all kinds of different accolades. We've got them coming up. We'll kind of recap. We'll talk about what's coming up here on 549 Media the rest of this week. Great match. 85th meeting of these two are close to the book, other than us giving out some accolades. So we'll be back here. We'll be here shortly. We'll come back shortly after a quick message.
From the plains of North and South Dakota to the lakes of Minnesota, one remarkable creature thrives. The cold climate heat pump. It cools when it's hot, heats when it's not, and uses far less energy than traditional systems. Those who welcome one into their habitat enjoy year-round comfort, generous rebates, and bills that nearly hibernate. Cold climate heat pumps, cooling, heating, and saving all year. That's efficient comfort. Powered by Otter Tail Power Company.
Well, we're going to jump right back in here as we're honoring the seniors that it kind of came out. John Stake, Tristan Larson, and Dresden Wegscheid here at center mat. And again, one of those bittersweet moments. I know their sections are going to be here, but you always, those times when you think of all the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that have been put into this. It's one of those moments as families taking pictures, but we just wanted to jump back in and acknowledge those three gentlemen for what they've done for Perham Wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's nice to, your last home duel, just get recognized by the fans, all the effort. Wrestling especially, most of these guys have done it since they were in kindergarten, and all the long trips, all the hours, all the blood, sweat, and tears, if you will, and it's just good to recognize those three.
Now we'll step away for a couple-minute break, allow us to recap everything, get the accolades ready to go, and again, we'll go into this break just thanking those seniors again for all that they've given to the Perham Wrestling program.
Perham Health is here to take care of you, to keep you crushing it. Broken bone? We'll fix it. New baby? We'll deliver. We've heard that. And yes, we can help. From life's big moments to the annoyingly sick ones, our providers have the expertise and compassion to handle it all. Perham Health, so you can keep on hitting it.
You have big ideas, and we know your local business is the backbone of our community. Your next big idea deserves local support from friends and neighbors. United Community Bank is here to support and grow local ideas with local businesses. Let's build something together this year and thrive in 2026. Big ideas deserve local lenders, and when you bank locally, community is the whole point. United Community Bank, your local business community bank. Perham, Frazee, Dent. UCBankMN.com, member FDIC, NMLS number 421829.
Interested in working somewhere where you can grow and make a difference? Join the team at Tuffy's Pet Food, part of KLN Family Brands. For over 60 years, we've been crafting high-quality pet food with care, and it all starts with our people. At Tuffy's, you'll find profit sharing, great benefits, opportunities to advance, and a culture that feels like family. Because when our people thrive, so do the pets we feed. Tuffy's Pet Food, where your future is as important as the products we make. Apply today.
At Hilltop Lumber, we help plan, supply, and deliver dreams.
We are family owned and operated, serving the Lakes area since 1988. Though Hilltop Lumber is our name, we're much more than that. We provide superior consulting and design, accurate estimates, thorough product knowledge, and on-time delivery. We have a full range of building supplies from windows, doors, decking, and siding to hardware, tools, paints, and stains. Take the stress out of building and let us help you find the perfect products for your project. Hilltop Lumber. We help plan, supply, and deliver dreams.
McCall Construction is the Lakes area full-service construction management company, offering a truly personalized experience. From dream homes to commercial spaces, McCall Construction focuses on putting you first with experienced value engineering that delivers on your vision and surpasses your expectations. Whether you already have a plan or you're just getting started, give them a call. McCall Construction will make the entire process so much easier. Call them at 218-346-7070 or check them out on Facebook.
Central Market, the fresh place in Perham and Detroit Lakes, offering the freshest meat, produce, bakery, and deli products possible with great value for your money. A visit to Central Market is a journey into freshness. You'll always be able to find a wide variety of items that will result in the perfect meal for your family and friends. Begin with their meat department, and whether it's succulent fruit and vegetables, fresh baked specialties from their bakery, or the convenience of fresh deli selections. Central Market is the fresh place for your family. Go Yellowjackets!
Well, welcome back into the Hive. It seems like it should be 9 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock, and what a match this was, 33-19 on your Hilltop Lumber scoreboard in favor of the hometown Yellowjackets. They do have another triangular coming up. I believe they're going Friday to Alexandria there's some big ones coming up. And that Alexandria Pequot Lakes, I believe, will be there. There's others that are wrestling in that top 4 or 5 that I think is going to shake out those places. We'll let you know that if we're on air as we can. But here we are in the KLN post-match wrap-up, and a great match, Jesse, and a lot of fun right from the start.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't disappoint. I mean, I'm glad we didn't make predictions on matches because we would have probably made fools out of ourselves again. But a lot of action, a lot of high-flying stuff, guys doing what they need to do for their team, and the Yellowjackets prevailed this evening.
Yeah, and we can kind of roll through a little bit about what happened. It started off and just I thought if the whole night's like this is going to be crazy. Jackson Pazernik went down into defeat to Ashton Brislin, 19-13, and that was just mano-a-mano right in the center of the mat, and each one had their chance to take the victory, but did not. Followed up Halo Roth with a really tough 3-2 win over Larson, and those were some of those points that we thought at the end might lead to the scoreboard tipping a little bit the Yellowjackets' way, and it did just that. Weston Strawberry loses by fall to Ashton Reller. Reller just tough, and in the very end of a hard-fought match, he got the fall. Dresden Wegscheid, one of the seniors that we honored at 127, didn't get to wrestle tonight, but picked up one of those wins that at the end of the year, you hope you get a couple of those so you can rest the body. Frazee was open at 127. At 133, arguably the move of the match came out of there. It could arguably been the wrestler of the match came out of there too. Zane Wacker at 133 pounds with a 10-9 decision over number 10 rated in Class A, Christian Peichel. So Zane Wacker with your Ottertail Power move of the match through there. At 139, Peyton Trout with a 7-1 decision over Liam Ham. Just came out and really did a nice job, and really one of those it could have went either way, and that was a big one for the Yellowjackets. At 145, Sam Royko goes down in defeat, 8-1 to Cash Osterman, and Osterman, boy, he just looks like he's gearing up for another section run and a state berth for sure for the Hornets. At 152, Carson Zeise came out, kind of became the stopper. Tech Fall 15-0 win over Dylan Sonnenberg. Knew what he needed to do, didn't leave any doubt there. At 160, Brody Wacker really wrestled a great match against a really tough Blake Sonnenberg, who's rated number 7 in Class A. It went right down to the wire almost, and Brody did have some chances there, but in the end goes down in defeat 8-3 to Blake Sonnenberg. At 172, Tegan Detloff comes in and looks just like he should when he's favored, and he came in and left no doubt with a pinfall over Payson Jagger. At 189, Tristan Larson, Jack Graham, what a show these two have put on in the last few days that we've got to witness both times. This one a little bit longer than the last one, but Tristan Larson falls in defeat again to Jack Graham 4-2. Eli Royko comes out at 285 and wins 19-6 over Tanner Moe. And in the wrap-up at 285, Lucian Harms, an 11-2 winner over John Carlos, which leaves our score at 33-19. And with that, we've got a few things left on this post-match wrap-up by KLN. We did award the move of the match to Zane Wacker in that thriller. It was crazy as could be, and felt he was deserving of that. The pin for the win tonight, Jesse?
Yeah, we're going to give it to both Carson Zeise and Tegan Detloff. They were our two pins. We couldn't choose between either of them. They both were very favored in their matches. They knew their team needed pins, and they went out and did it.
And for the Hornets, we'll go with Ashton Reller, who that was a huge pin early on that really set them the stage apart as they were going. So a lot of good wrestling there. And then the final, the Steve Sanitation Wrestler of the Match. And I'll let you take those honors over.
Yeah, we're going to go with Peyton Trout tonight. Lots of good candidates for this, but Peyton came out, got a 7-1 victory in a highly contested match. 2 good takedowns and an escape. He put on a good ride toward the end there and just put a good complete match together to get a win.
And he has battled this year, and it's been fun to watch him continue to grow. And again, I think that was one of those big turning points that if that one would have went Frazee's way, I was starting to get a little bit leery of where we were going to end up in this one. So nice job, Peyton Trout. He's our Steve Sanitation player of the game. Again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for allowing this to be a commercial-free, for the most part, broadcast, and allowing us to be on the air as our love for this sport continues to grow, even the older we get. So, Jesse, any last words as we head out the door for another evening?
No, just another great night of wrestling, and we wish both these teams the best of luck down the stretch of as they get into the postseason, and looking forward to watching how the season comes to a close.
Yeah, section's coming up, team, next week already on Friday, so we'll start to talk about that more in our upcoming broadcast. Speaking of those upcoming broadcasts, you can rejoin Jason Groth and myself on Thursday night. The Minnewaska area Lakers coming into town to take on the Perham Yellowjacket boys basketball team. Then Friday night in the Battle of the Bees, we're going to have a boys and girls doubleheader against Frazee. So the Hornets coming back into the Hive on Friday night, and look for all those details on the Perham Activities website. So our final farewells from Jesse Hine. My name's Lance Rock. It was our honor and pleasure to bring this 85th meeting between the Frazee Hornets and the Perham Yellowjackets wrestling programs. We hope you enjoy your evening. Good night.
You've been watching 549 Media. Don't miss a moment. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications at youtube.com/@549media. The plays, the energy, the excitement, it's all right here with 549 Media.